I feel like I'm cheating on an old friend. I'm looking at my Bishop and my FK irons right now, and I feel this weird pang of guilt. These machines were my milestones. I remember exactly which tattoos I had to pull off to save up the cash for them. I remember the pride I felt the day they arrived in the mail. It felt like I had finally made it. I was part of the elite club. But for the last 6 months, they've been gathering dust. Today, we're going to have a very honest, maybe even a little controversial conversation. We're going to talk about the China takeover, but not from a textbook perspective. We're talking reality. We're talking about it from the perspective of my aching wrists, my bank account, and the reality of being an artist in 2026. How did we get to a point where a no-name machine from across the world is outperforming the legends we worshipped? And what does it mean for the soul of our industry when the barrier to entry is being kicked down? Let's talk about it. When I started, the industry was a fortress. If you didn't have $1,500 for a machine, you weren't serious. It was a gatekeeping tactic. We used to look down on anything made in China because, back then, it was junk. It was the stuff that broke halfway through a session and left the client's skin looking like hamburger meat. That was the reputation. But while the Western legacy brands were busy marketing their lifestyle, China was doing something much more systemic. They were watching. They realized that a tattoo artist isn't a rock star. We're laborers, we're tradespeople, and we need tools that work as hard as we do. They took the tech from the EV industry, the brushless motors, the high-density batteries, and they built a better mousetrap. Traditional motors have friction points. Brushless tech removes them. It's quieter, cooler, and lasts 3 times longer. China saw this first. They started using the same metallurgical standards found in aerospace. They stopped making toys and started making instruments. It's the same thing they did with cars. First, everyone laughed. Then, everyone got curious. Now, everyone is buying them. I want to get vulnerable for a second about why I made the switch. It wasn't just the price, it was the physical freedom. My legacy machines are beautiful, but they're high maintenance. They're finicky, like a vintage sports car. Using my new Chinese disruptor feels like, well, it feels like it's actually on my side. The balance is perfect. The battery lasts for an entire back piece. No cables, no power boxes, just pure, uninterrupted creative flow. I used to think that suffering for the art was part of the job. I thought the vibration and the weight were just the price you paid. But the first time I finished a 10-hour realism session with my cheap Chinese pen and my hand didn't feel like a claw, that was a religious experience. At that moment, the brand loyalty died. Because my loyalty isn't to a company in California, my loyalty is to the person in my chair. And my loyalty is to the longevity of my own career. If my hands fail, my career ends. These tools protect my future. Let's talk about the soul versus the tool. There is this fear that if tools are cheap, anyone can be an artist, that the prestige is gone. I think that's total bullshit. A machine is just a pen. Giving a kid a $3,000 fountain pen doesn't make him a poet. By democratizing the tools, China hasn't ruined tattooing. They've stripped away the excuses. They've leveled the playing field. Now, you can't hide behind your expensive gear. If your lines are shaky or your saturation is patchy, you can't blame the machine anymore. The gear gap is gone. We are back to a place where the only thing that matters is your eye, your hand, and your dedication to the craft. In a way, China has made tattooing more honest than it's been in 30 years. It's about skill again, not who has the deepest pockets. They control the raw materials. They control the manufacturing. They have the scale. This isn't just about cheap labor. It's about infrastructure. The speed of iteration is terrifying. A designer in Shenzhen can prototype, test, and manufacture a new machine in weeks. Legacy brands take years. The market is flooded, yes, but competition drives innovation. Every new release pushes the limits of what these motors can do. So what does the next decade look like? Are we going to see the legacy brands disappear, or will they adapt to this new reality? Legacy brands have the history, but history doesn't pay the bills in a high-speed world. They have to innovate or they will become museum pieces. As an artist, you have a choice. You can stick to the tradition and pay the premium, or you can embrace the future and keep the change. I'm not telling you to throw away your bishops. They are beautiful pieces of history, but stop paying a luxury tax just to feel like you belong. True authority comes from the work. It comes from the heel. It comes from the client's face when they see the final result. That's the only metric. Let's get technical for a minute. The torque stability in these modern brushless pens is unprecedented. No more voltage drop during deep packing. Heat is the enemy of longevity. These new designs dissipate heat efficiently, meaning the motor doesn't degrade over a long session. That's engineering. Many of these Chinese machines are using Swiss motors and Japanese bearings. It's a global synergy that produces world-class tools. We are shifting from seeing our machines as jewelry to seeing them as precision instruments. It's a professionalization of the industry. The community is divided. Some feel it's a loss of culture. Others feel it's the liberation of the artist. Where do you stand? Lowering the price of entry means more talent can enter the pool, and more talent means more innovation in the art itself. That's a net win. So here is my final verdict. The China takeover isn't a threat, it's an invitation. It's an invitation to focus on what actually matters. Focus on the art, focus on the client, focus on the craft. The tool is just the bridge between your vision and the skin. I promised you a thoughtful outro. And here's the kicker. I'm going to let you in on a little secret about this video itself. While I've been talking to you for the last 8 minutes, the real me hasn't been in front of a camera at all. I've been building Alice tattoos. I'm building my business while my digital twin handles the education. This is the ultimate tool for the modern busy artist. This is authority. So what's your choice? Are you going to hide behind the legacy? Or are you going to use every tool at your disposal to build your own legacy? Subscribe if you want to know how the game actually works. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.